We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
Okay, we got a roll program. Griffin, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
This is Event Horizon, and I'm your host, Mark Anthony Peterson. This is the podcast that takes a walk into the paranormal with a splash of conspiracy. This is the podcast that would be born if David Icke and the X-Files had a baby. Guys, welcome to episode 88. We're closing in on 100. Can you believe it? Wow, 100 episodes. We haven't got there yet, but we're getting close. Episode 88, a news from the point of no return episode, report number 12. We're going to talk about three things again, as we always do in these episodes. First, we're going to talk about how climate change is affecting time. Interesting. You better tune in for that. The second thing, mysterious radio signals coming from a galaxy like our own. And then finally, I've been predicting this for the last 2 years, but there's another Oumuamua. Yes, the interstellar rock that sped out faster than it came in. They finally detected another one. So I don't know if my prediction is right, wrong, late, but we're going to cover it in this episode. Before we dig in, you know what we got to do. I got to give you that disclaimer. I am not a religious expert. Been thrown out of more churches than I've been welcomed into. I'm not a physicist, theoretical, or otherwise, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express, and I think that gives me the right to do a little research, apply first principles, and bring back what I've learned to you here on this show. Cool? Cool. Okay, let's jump right into the first article written by Laura Paddison from CNN, July 15, 2024, entitled "Climate Change is Messing with Time More Than Previously Thought. Scientists Find." The article starts out, "The impacts of human-caused climate change are so overwhelming that they are actually messing with time, according to new research. Polar ice melt caused by global warming is changing the speed of the Earth's rotation and increasing the length of each day, in a trend set to accelerate over this century as humans continue to pump out planetary heating pollution, according to the study published Monday in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. These changes are small, a matter of milliseconds a day, but in our high-tech, hyper-connected world have an important impact on computing systems we have come to rely on, including GPS. is yet another sign of the huge impact humans are having on the planet. This is a testament to the gravity of ongoing climate change, says Surinder Adhikari, a geophysicist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the report's author. The number of hours, minutes, and seconds making up each day on Earth are dictated by the speed of the Earth's rotation, which is influenced by a complex knot of factors. These include processes in which the planet's fluid core, the ongoing impact of the melting of huge glaciers after the last ice age, as well as melting polar ice due to climate change. The article continues. For millennia, however, the impact of the moon has dominated, increasing the length of a day by a few milliseconds per century. The moon exerts a pull on the Earth, causing the oceans to bulge towards it, gradually slowing the Earth's rotation. Scientists have previously made connections between polar ice melt and longer days, but the new research suggests global warming is a bigger factor on time than recent studies have shown. The article continues. If the world continues to pump out planet-heating pollution, climate change could become the new dominant factor, outpacing the moon's role. In barely 200 years, we have altered the Earth's climate system so much that we are witnessing its impact on the very way Earth spins, Adhikari told CNN. A few milliseconds of additional time a day may be imperceptible to humans, but it has an impact on technology. From the late 1960s, the world started using Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, to set time zones. UTC relies on atomic clocks, but still keep pace with the planet's rotation. That means at some point, leap seconds need to be added or subtracted to keep alignment with the Earth's rotation. The article concludes, while there is now general agreement climate change will have a net lengthening effect on the day, she told CNN, there has still been uncertainty about which processes affecting time will dominate this century. The study concludes climate change is now the second most dominant factor. Guys, it's the cows. Yeah, in the last News from the Point of No Return episode, we talked about how the cows and their flatulence were putting tons of methane into the atmosphere, causing the planet to heat up. They're the ones that are causing the glaciers to melt. I always thought those cows were sneaky. You sure they're with us and that they're not aliens from another planet trying to terraform the planet for them? Next time you're driving out in the country and you see a cow, stop, pull over, give that cow a wag your finger in its face. It's a shame on you, cow, for heating up the planet and messing up our GPS and lengthening our day. We work hard enough without making the day longer. No, just throwing a little humor into the article. If lengthening the day by milliseconds is the worst thing we have to deal with as it relates to climate change, then I think they got too much time on their hand. Really. Right? There's bigger issues we need to deal with than researching how many more milliseconds are added to the planet's rotation because of glacier ice melting. That means that before man had cars and before man got millions of cows on cattle farms, and when the glaciers froze, the day got shorter, and man had nothing to do with it. So could this just be part of a climate cycle that's that's driven by factors that are beyond the planet. Yeah, man's going to contribute. But even if there's no man, you're telling me that for centuries, the biggest impact on our time was the moon, then aren't there probably some other factors that we're not considering? Comets, other planets, the sun, that are as powerful, as big of a factor as the moon, that aren't being included into this equation. As we get a better understanding and a better grip on AI, I think we're going to get different answers than what we're given right now as to what the driving factors are for rapid climate change. Because I think this is part of a cycle that past civilizations understood, like the Mayans and their ancient clocks. Their ancient clocks mapped a lot of the changes within our planet that were brought on by universal factors. Right? And the Mayans, the best way to put it, believed that time didn't necessarily repeat itself, but it did rhyme. That cycles produce similar results, similar outcomes based on the astronomical alignments, and that produced seasons for everything. What am I saying? If you had a Hitler, you'll always get a Hitler during the season when Hitlers are produced. That there is a time and period where energies rise and fall, and during those periods you're going to get different human behavior, different planetary behavior, and that's just part of the cycle. The way it's implemented may not be exactly the same, but it'll be within the ballpark. And that's what the calendars were mapping. So when I look back at what we're experiencing now, we're in one of those cycles. Yeah, I think we're in one of those cycles. And if you're in a car with no engine at the top of a hill, gravity's going to pull you down. If I'm in that car, my weight's going to contribute to the speed of that car. But it's not going to be the only factor driving it down that hill as fast as it'll go. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. Now, should we stop trying to be better? No. If we can be better and be better stewards of the planet, we should do that. That's biblical. That's why we were given dominion. Dominion doesn't mean you get to be a bully or you get to be a slouch. It means you take the proactive leadership to be the best at what you can be for all the others who are looking to you for leadership. So yeah, we should do our best. Next article, number 2. This is brought to us by Andrew Griffin. The article is in The Independent, and it's entitled Mysterious Radio Signals Coming from Galaxies Like Our Own. This sounds like a fun one. The article starts out, unexplained and powerful radio blasts coming from deep in space might be coming from galaxies like our own, according to a new study. The research suggests that there may be far more to fast radio bursts, or FRBs, than previously realized. FRBs are very intense, very short blasts of radio energy that come to us from deep space. They release as much energy in a millisecond than the sun